And now to the tax battle, a centerpiece of President Trump's economic agenda. Republicans pushed ahead today on two fronts. Lisa Desjardins reports.
At the Capitol, a kind of starting bell.
Committee will come to order.
Or gavel, for one of the largest fiscal and pocketbook fights in modern U.S. history.
This is as close to fixing the tax code as we can possibly get.
As the House Ways and Means Committee passed its sweeping tax overhaul.
The bill is passed. The committee is adjourned.
And GOP senators released their outline.
Today we get to make a big difference.
That as Democrats decried the GOP plans as rush jobs.
You're desperate. You have failed to pass anything of substance. Anything.
First, in the House, Republicans have made a few changes to their bill, restoring a tax credit for adoptions to please social conservatives, and adding a new tax on large piles of foreign profits held by U.S. companies to help the bill's bottom line. Democrats stress the bill would still bring red ink.
We know that if this bill were to become law, our national debt would grow by $2.3 trillion. We know that homeowners in many states across this great nation would lose.
But House Speaker Paul Ryan pushed the GOP mantra that borrowing for tax cuts is worth it to try to grow the economy.
We're actually letting people keep more of their own money. We're cleaning out the loopholes of the tax code and having a fairer tax system. So we're going to have faster economic growth, bigger paychecks, fairer taxes.
As the House bill moves forward, though, it faces its next challenge from Republicans in the Senate. Late today, they unveiled their own plan with some key differences from the House version. For individuals, senators would have 7 tax brackets compared with 4 in the House bill. And senators would not fully repeal the estate tax. Instead, they'd double the amounts that would be exempt to more than $10 million per individual. Another big one affecting high-cost states like New York or California. The Senate plan would totally repeal all deductions on state and local taxes. The House would allow a $10,000 property tax break. But the Senate would keep the home mortgage deduction as it is now, helping some new homeowners in those states.
This is truly a good day.
Most Senate Republicans came out embracing the plan.
Tax reform is not about numbers. Tax reform is about everyday Americans being able to keep more of their hard-earned money.
But there is some doubt, especially about that red ink. Arizona's Jeff Flake was asked if the plan helps the middle class.
No, I think it helps. I do. But nobody's going to be helped if we just balloon the deficit.
And the Senate is going to be the big battle. You know, the Senate can only lose 2 Republican votes. Republicans can and get this plan passed. But Senator Flake is not the only one who raised questions. Today, Senator Ron Johnson told NewsHour that his problems with some of the business provisions have still not been resolved. And in addition, Alaska's Lisa Murkowski said she's still looking at the bill. She's not a yes yet. But Judy, one thing we know Murkowski probably likes, in addition to the Senate bill, they will include a provision allowing drilling in the Alaska National Wildlife Refuge, something Murkowski has wanted but is highly debated.
So, Lisa, given all that, what does it look like? Where does this go from here?
All right, this is the time to really pay attention because next week we expect the House to take its final vote or its vote on its plan. And then the week after Thanksgiving, the end of November, the Senate is expected to vote. That's what John Cornyn told me and a few other reporters. So then those two versions will come together in December in a very intense couple of weeks at the beginning of that month, Judy.
So a very fast timetable.
Very fast, that's right.
Lisa Desjardins reporting from the Capitol. Thanks.